Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Woo, y'all. If y'all did not know, God has a sense of humor, okay? He has a sense of humor. Remember that as I tell y'all this message on today that he has given me. First off, I was not going to share this message because the dream kind of sounded like kind of crazy to me. But over the weekend, not this past weekend, because I was supposed to record this video last week. So last weekend, not this past weekend, but last weekend, God gave me four confirmations, and they let me know to go ahead and release this word. Okay, so on December the 8th, I had a dream of a huge Pillsberry Doughboy. Okay, the Pillsberry Doughboy, so y'all can understand as I'm going through the message, represents the preacher. Okay, he was very, very, very tall, like a giant. He was walking like he was like he was the man, like he was all there, like he had it going on, y'all. He had a sway in his shoulders when he was walking. He was so full of himself. But the Pillsberry Doughboy, which is the preacher, wasn't the only one in this dream. This is where it gets crazy. There were very tall aliens as well. The aliens represent the people that were helping the preacher. All right? Y'all, I know this sounds crazy, but God used the Pillsberry Doughboy and the aliens for an example. What can I do, y'all, but roll with it, okay? This came from God. This did not come from me, okay? You have to be willing to look crazy for the Lord, all right? So, there it is. The aliens were about the same height as the Pillsberry Doughboy, but the aliens were skinny. Are y'all following the dream with me? The aliens were skinny. Skinny means that they did not have a big ego. The Pillsberry Doughboy was huge and had a big ego. The aliens, which were the people helping the preacher, represented the new people that have come along that wasn't familiar with this person's arrogance, the big ego. And because they couldn't see it, it caused this preacher to get puffed up by them more and more and more, not even realizing they were doing that to him. It was feeding into his destruction. In the dream, the Pillsberry Doughboy, which is the preacher, turns left and starts walking behind a building out of sight. The aliens, which represent his helpers, stayed behind and continued on with the destruction, helping him tear down what was already built up before he arrived. The foundation was there, that ego. All right? No, we're not doing this. We're not doing it this way. We're not doing it this way. No, we're not doing it that way. No, get rid of that. No, we're not keeping this. No, we're not keeping that. I need something with my name on it around here. Ego, just tearing it down. That was the dream. That was the dream, okay? I don't have to relay a message to nobody. I'm the preacher around here. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Ego, okay? I don't have to consult with nobody. I'm the preacher. Ego. And the innocent of the helpers ain't got a clue. They are contributing to his ego. Now, follow me with this. Now, when you think of dough, it rises. It puffs up. But the dough only rises if it has self-rising flour in it, or yeast. But both causes the rise of the dough, okay? My God. Keyword, self-rising. I was like, God, where are you going with this? He was referring to some preachers that think that they are all that. They have risen themselves up, self-rising, thinking that they have arrived because their congregation has grown, their money has grown, and because the congregation has grew a liking to them and have put that preacher on a pedestal, stroking his ego, making the dough hot, the preacher hot, rising up the preacher, puffing the preacher up. That's why the Pillsberry Doughboy that I saw in my dream was walking like that, y'all. How many preachers y'all know like that? Because God don't need you in his pulpit with a high ego. Yes, his pulpit. It's not your pulpit. But your ego will have you thinking that it is. Too high up in ego, needing to come down. But you can't see it none of this will make sense to you because it makes you feel good, makes you feel tall like that Pillsbury Doughboy that I saw in my dream. So you need somebody to come along and tell you about yourself. And this is the message right here. This is not my message. This is not my message, okay? This is nothing that I came up with on my own, okay? Pride comes before destruction. Taller than you are supposed to be. Just like the Pillsbury Doughboy in my dream. Is y'all following me? You can't be reached. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Your way is the only way. You don't want to listen to what other people have to say. You won't call people back. You don't text people back. You want to acknowledge that you have even, that person has even tried to reach out to you because you are too high up in your ego. Untouchable. Unreachable. At least so they think. Even Jesus came down on our level to reach us, and he probably was the most humble person that ever walked this earth. And no, you can't please everybody, but this is not about pleasing everybody. But your ego will have you thinking that this is what this message is about, and it is not, okay? It is not. It's about acting right while you are in that pulpit over a congregation. Stop with the Zak Syndrome. The Zak Syndrome. Come out the tree. You're too high up to see all that you need to see. In the first part of Zak's story in Luke chapter 19, 1 through 10, let's read it. Then Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. Now behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, who was a chief tax collector, and he was rich. And he sought to see who Jesus was, but could not because of the crowd, for he was of short stature. So he ran ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was going to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said to him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must stay at your house. So he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. But when they saw it, they all complained, saying, he has gone to be a guest with a man who is a sinner. Then Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, Lord, look, I give half of my goods to the poor, and if I have taken anything from anybody by false accusation, I restore fourfold. And Jesus said to him, today's salvation has come to his house, because he also is a son of Abraham, for the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. Zacchaeus got up in that tree, going higher once again, because he was already high up in his finances from stealing. The high never stops for people that are ego tripping. When arrogance is involved, the high never stops until God steps in and stops it. And do you really want him to do that? This is something that you can do on your own, okay? Jesus told Zacchaeus to come out that tree. He was too high. He felt like he needed to be high up because he wasn't confident with himself that he would be able to see what he needed to see unless he was high up. Okay? Because he was short. Him being able to take advantage of the taxpayers and get more money out of them puffed up his ego. He was enjoying the high. Being high up was what he was used to. Being able to take advantage of people kept him high. All right? But Zacchaeus didn't know that the lower you are, the more humbling you are, the more you see. Let me read that again. But Zacchaeus didn't know that the lower you are, the more humble you are, the more you see. But Jesus said, make haste and come down, meaning quickly come down. And after he came down, Jesus received him joyfully. It made Jesus happy that he came down because he wanted to save him. God would not have given me this message, y'all, if he was okay with preachers having big egos, okay? Come down quickly. No, Zacchaeus was not a preacher, I don't believe. But he was high up in his thinking he can continue to take advantage of taxpayers. What if Zacchaeus would not have come out of that high tree? What if he would not have came out of that high tree? Pride comes before destruction. you have been warned. I don't know what else to say. You know, God doesn't give people dreams and visions, you know, just for them to have something to do. No, each dream and each vision has a meaning. Zacchaeus was stealing. He took too much money from the taxpayers. He was a corrupt tax collector, and Jesus came straight to him to save him because he was one of Abraham's descendants. We are all Abraham's descendants. Has Jesus told you to come out of that tree of arrogance yet? That tree of big ego yet? That tree of pride yet? This message is only confirmation for you because people have been telling you this for a while now about your ego, and you know it. And you may have already, you know, been saved because you are baptized. You're a born again believer of Jesus Christ already. So saving for you can also mean saving you from the destruction that comes with the pride that you have. Y'all, that dream was crazy, but it is what it is. It made more sense to me when God revealed to me what the Pillsberry Doughboy meant and what the alien meant, because it took me a while to get this message together. I'm like, God, what is you saying? Somebody is being warned by God to drop the pride. Somebody that is in the pulpit somewhere in this world is being warned to drop the pride. And God used humor to get the point of this message across. So whoever this message is for, you can laugh, but take this message, okay? Take it in. Your arrogance has got to go. It could be your downfall, okay? And while I was preparing this message, I heard God say, I bless you because it was time to bless you. You have done great work. But since I have blessed you, your ego has gotten big. Humble yourself and repent, lest you fall, okay? That's not my words. Preachers are supposed to be very humble and down to earth, not all up in the clouds, because you are over a congregation. You have a lot of people under your leadership. Don't tank the leadership, okay? Everybody needs work in some area. Even preachers, they are not exempt. Okay, y'all? So that's the message I have for you all on today. If you have not subscribed, please make sure you go ahead and do that. If you consider on staying, I hope and pray that you do. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you all in the next video.